live a king's life on a peasant's salary. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy FRE$H Fresh. Listen. A lot of you guys, if you've watched all the videos that you'll see like around my whole channel, you've seen my lifestyle. You've seen the Flyboy way. TheFlyBoyway. Don't ask why. You've seen the lifestyle I live. My close friends and some family members, they know how I accomplish this lifestyle. But it's been made known to me that a lot of people that watch my YouTube really don't understand how is it possible that a kid from Newark, New Jersey, raised in East Orange or Irvington, no father, mother, in and out of the mental institution, could have made it to where I'm at. First of all, it's help with the family. It's always family help. But then it's also becoming your own person. Financially, I'm going to go more into detail, giving you the whole behavioral patterns and everything else. Maybe in another video, I'll give you that whole detail on how I did it, how I got from where I was at to where I'm at now, to where I'm going. But financially, I'm going to break something down for you. It's a movement that didn't have a name before for me. Like, I didn't have a name for it. I just was doing it because it made sense to me. It was logical to me. But a lot of people now call it the FIRE movement. Financially independent, retiring early. Why would you want to retire early, people ask? Life, as we know it since we were young, we started that first day in kindergarten where I'm going to go take a kid to kindergarten and everything. That was cool, right? But since that first day, America, at least, I don't know if it's the whole world because I haven't grown up in the whole world, but America, at least, in Newark, New Jersey, and New Jersey as a whole, has taught you from that first day in kindergarten that your whole life you should be a worker. You should base your whole life on working, like worker ants. You ever look at like a pile of ants crawling and doing so much stuff all together, and you're like, well, damn, do they ever have fun? Because like all they're doing is they're looking to build a big anthill. Now the anthill is dope. You may need it to survive, and it's amazing that you guys can work together without any hassle. But that can't be life for us humans with the capacity to think, do, and decide life, how to live your life more than any other creature. Most creatures, they just only have natural instincts, what they can just do naturally. But for whatever reason, if you believe in a higher power, or if you believe in just Scientology or whatever you believe in, for whatever reason, we have the ability to decide how we're going to live our lives. We don't have to follow our natural instinct as to what we want to do. And I think that is the meaning of life. I think the meaning of life is to live. Do whatever it is for you. That I'm getting messages, so you can see them there. Do whatever it is for you, and whatever it means to you to live. If working all your life is how you want to live, be happy. Don't let nobody else take that away from you. You can still listen, but just don't take that away from you. If you want to travel the world and you want to, I guess, not have a lot of money, and you want to, just see everything, do that. That works for you. That works for you. That's your life. That's your meaning of life. Don't let anybody take that away from you. As far as me, I feel as though the best way to live life is balance. Just balance in general. And financially, what allows me to do this is the FIRE method, or what they call now the FIRE method. I just call it being logical. I'm going to have like in between, you see me talking, and I'm going to show you some of my videos in the background because it gains more attention when I show people videos from my trips around the world, or the cars that I have, or me hanging out with my friends, more than me just sitting here in front of your face on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform you're watching me on, just talking to you. But travel the world, have nice things, provide for my kids, and make sure that I do all this without hurting another person. You want to know how? Drum roll. FIRE. Fire! Yes. That's just a typical name. I've been doing this before the whole FIRE movement started. For those that don't know what the FIRE movement is, financial independence, retiring early. Why do I say this? I've been doing this since I was young. When I was young, I started working at 14. I worked at a summer program that allowed 14-year-olds and people without, the ability to get an actual job to work. And they put me at a fire station. At a fire station, we just cleaned up, and we it was East Orange Fire Station at that. We cleaned up and we like cut grass and we helped people out along the way. It was cool, and I got my first taste of hard work and what it could do for me. That put me on the path that I'm at now. 14, I worked there. 15, I worked at the same fire station. 16, 16, I finally got my first real or legal job to work at without help from the city that I was living in at the time, East Orange, New Jersey. You know what I mean? I got my real job in Newark, New Jersey, and at BBP. Now, for those that don't know BBP is a skating ring. Have you seen the movies like Atlanta, and you've seen the movies like I'm not for Atlanta, like ATL, and you see the skating movies and stuff like that. That was BBP. That was original Cascade and all that was BBP. Except for with Branchwood Park, you can network with so many people because the age started at 14. You see people 14 to 25 in the same place just having a great time. Weird now in this era, but wasn't that weird back then. So I took the knowledge I got from networking with people at Branchwood Park, and at 18, I used all the information from me working at 14 at the fireplace, me working at the Branchwood Park at 16, and then finally got a long-lasting career at FedEx at 18. Now, FedEx, I had said, when I got to FedEx, I said, yo, I don't want to just make money and waste it. This is an opportunity for me to grow. How am I going to do it? So I planned out my 80-year life. Now, if I don't live 80 years, hey, at least I can say I lived one hell of a life. And as I'm talking, you'll probably see a couple flashes or a couple clips where I cut off my face and I show you a video of me in a different country around the world, or me hanging out with a good friends, or me in one of my cars that I've had, or one of the mini cars that I've had, or something flashy, and that you'll see, because I want to show you that this is not just me talking. Like you ever see one of the videos like where all these people, they say, oh, let me tell you about how to retire, and let me tell you what you need to save, and let me tell you about what you need to spend, and you should delay your gratification for a long time, because delaying your gratification is the way to retire. I mean, it's not. That's not me. It's not ever gonna be me. Like, the whole thing with that is like, if that works for you, it works for you. Everybody has a different way, but I'm just showing you my way, the Flyboy way. So when I got to FedEx, I said, all right, 80 years, I got to plan this out. Do I want to ball out right now, or go buy the new Gucci shoes, go buy the Louis clothes, whatever name brand is hot right now when you're watching this video, and then in like 20 years, I'm kind of like broke? Nah, I said, no, I'm not going to do that, because I've seen this trend happen over and over again. And if you don't learn from the past, you're going to fail in the future. Insanity is the definition of repeating yourself over and over again and expecting a new outcome. I mean, I don't know how many quotes I need to use, but that's basically what I didn't want to do. So I said, I'm going to plan this out. How do I want to do this? How can I honestly do this? I said, 18, I start working. I need 2 years to get myself right, because I'm 18. I'm just getting out of high school. I want to party a little bit. Went to Daytona Beach, BCR, had fun, blew money, bought some cars, big rims, 22s. But I set myself a 2-year plan of doing this. Actually, it was like a 4-year plan. But after the 2 years, I had pretty much had enough of doing that stuff. So 2-year plan of doing that where I didn't do nothing. The second year into that plan, I thought, it was 4-year plan. The second year into that 4-year plan, I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? And I met this guy at my job at the time at FedEx, rest of his soul, because he passed away, Kingston. And Kingston told me, yo, young boy, he was like a dude from Grenada. So if you're from Grenada, I'm gonna mess up your accent totally right here. You might just want to fast forward like at least a minute. But he was like, young boy, what you want to do? It sounds more Jamaican, but he was like, what you want to do with your life? You got to save money. No, you got to save money. I'm like, listen, what I'm going to save money for? I'm going to live all my life. He goes, you got to save money. You want to work here for your whole life? I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So he's like, listen, just put some money in your 401k. 401k? That was a 401k. 22 years old. This is probably at the time, it's probably like 2005 or something like that, 2006, I don't know. But I'm like, what am I gonna do with a 401k? But I said, why not, right? So I started to put like 9% in my thing. After 5 years, I realized that, or I found out that you can actually take the money out and do something with the money. But I let it sit because I didn't have any plans for it. 5 years later, so now the money's been in the account 10 years, and I've been working at the same job for 10 years. So I've been getting raises, and that money been the same amount for 10 years. And my grandfather always told me at one time, he said, listen, you're going to get money. You're going to have money. There's going to be a point in your time where you have money. What makes the biggest difference is what you're going to do with it. He tried to teach me about a lot of stuff. Real estate. He taught me, he tried to teach me, he taught me, like I said, taught me. I got to say he tried to teach me because taught mean I listened and I applied. Teach mean he said it, I heard him, went out the other ear. So he taught me, he tried to teach me rather. He tried to teach me a lot about real estate, about investing, about, doing a lot of stuff, and I heard it and, going. So he asked me what I want to do in my life, and I kept saying, I want to be a real estate investor. I was saying it because it made sense, but I didn't understand the whole FIRE movement. And what works well with my FIRE movement was the fact that I was able to travel. So when you mix the FIRE movement with travel, your retirement time cuts down a lot. The reason why is because travel opens your mind to knowing more about the world and not just the world you know. See, that's the whole difference between this generation. They don't know there's a difference between the world and the world they know. They think the world they know is the whole world. And if you try to teach them something from the whole world that they didn't have in the world they know, they look at you crazy. Or they don't listen. And I don't want to say this generation, I'm going to say people in general. They don't. If they haven't learned it in the years they've been alive, then they don't know it. And I'm just saying this. So basically, this video is for people who do have an open ear or open mind to things, or people who know the whole world and not just the world they know. But so I took how much did I take out? Okay, so my grandfather passed away. The whole time I'm still doing. Remember, at 14, since 18, since 20, I've been investing in this 401k. So now it built up, and not a lot of money. I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. So it's built up to where I had about $60,000 in my 401k. A little bit over 10 years, like 12 years. By the time I started doing this, I took the money out. I had $60,000 in my 401k. But if you take it all out, you get penalized. You get penalized for it. So I said, how can I take it out? You can borrow it. So I borrowed what I could borrow, which is only half of it. I borrowed $30K. Now check this out what I did with my $30K. I took the $30K. I bought a brand new car. Not brand new. It was like, the car was like 1 year old. So it was used. It was used. Bought a used car, $16,000. I bought it from the guys I know, David and Sons down in Newark, New Jersey. They got great deals. But the car was worth $19,000. Now here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. I took the $16,000 car that I bought. I refinanced it, and I got $19,000 out, and I got to keep the car. So not only did I have a car, but I had $19,000, which is $3,000 more than what I paid for the car to go invest. Now, I still had to pay a lease. Yes, low refinance lease, 3%, something like that. But now I had $19,000 liquid assets. So I then went and got a house. The house I got was in a good neighborhood. I don't want people to take this wrong, but if you do take it wrong, that's on you. I think investing in your own community is nice. It's a nice thing to do. But when you start, it's not the best thing to do. It's not. Because the drama and the stress levels that you're going to get from investing in your own community in the beginning far outweigh the benefit you're going to get from investing in your community towards the end of your career. So I took the money I had and I bought a little bit outside of my community. I bought a place in West Orange, which I'll show you right here. I'm going to probably try to block the address so you can't see where it's at. I bought a place in West Orange. Now, before I bought this place, I did a lot of research online about buying places because, as I told you, I have a hard head, and my grandfather tried to teach me how to do real estate all my life, and I didn't listen at all. Not at all. I can remember stuff, recall stuff now, but back then, I didn't listen at all. So, I found this place called BiggerPockets.com, and BiggerPockets, was a place where they, like a real estate social network real estate, where you can see a whole bunch of different people. Oh, I gotta plug my phone in real quick because it's going to die, and I don't want it to die while I'm having this message. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna pause it here. All right, so we back. It's another angle. As you can see, my bed's messed up. I'm not a 90s person in the world. MacBook. I'm gonna edit this stuff on here, right here. Just put this up there. All right, so where was that at? Okay, so like I said, my grandfather was trying to teach me real estate, and like I said, in one ear, out the other ear. Nothing ever clicked at that time, because I also believe in the fact that if you're not ready to learn, don't learn. If you're not ready to go 100% forth with what you want to do, don't have somebody teach you, because you're just gonna waste their time. It doesn't work until you're ready. So with the 19,000, I took that money, and after watching Bigger Pockets and trying to recall things my grandfather was trying to teach me, I took that money and I bought a house in West Orange. How did I buy the house in West Orange? I don't know if it was just, I think luck is just having the know-how and the just a chance of fate meet in the same direction. Because if you just have a chance that something may occur, but you don't have the know-how to get to where it may occur, you're basically never going to get that luck. So I took my know-how, and my know-how brought me here. And the luck just so happened to happen that a woman's husband passed away and she was from Singapore. She was from Singapore, and her husband passed away. So she was just trying to get rid of the house. She was like, oh my gosh, she was just trying to get rid of the house. And everybody knows in 2017, the market was high. But her husband passed away. In 2016, the market was high. Housing market was hard to get into a little bit for good quality deals. But 2017, it dipped for a little bit. And her husband died right then. And I was able to get the house for a low price. Now, I didn't even negotiate with her. Like, at the time, I'm happy I didn't know what I know now. Because if I know what I know now, I'd probably try to negotiate the price down. But I'm happy I didn't, because it was such a good deal at the price she asked. I was like, as soon as she wanted like $250,000 for the house in West Orange. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. The only thing I knew is that it was a multi-family house, and I knew that I would be able to pay the rent with the person upstairs renting out the duplex. So I took that and I said, hey, take the $250,000, went to the bank, got all my stuff. When the bank, with the bank, let me try to break off a little bit to where the bank said. The bank said, okay, you've been working at FedEx for 12 years at the time. They was like, oh, okay. So you have a consistent job history. Bing! That's a big thing. Regardless of where you work, you want to try to stay there at least 5 years to make it look good before you buy property. Secondly, they said, okay, you don't have that much debt. Bing! That came good. And thirdly, I had the money from the car sale to put down as a down deposit of 4%. Because at the time, 5%. 5%. Because at the time, you could put down 3.5%, but you get a better rate if you put down a whole 5%. If you put down 5%, because it was an Obama plan. It's right between the Obama-Trump era. Like that, I actually closed on the day that Trump was in office and Obama went out, the 20th of January 2017. I actually closed on my property. Exact day. It's dope as hell. All right, so buy my first property, January 20th, 2017. Equity is basically the difference between what you owe in a house and what the house is worth in the market. So I took that equity and I went and bought a second house. The reason why I did this leads me back to financial independence, retiring early. If I have a passive income of $5,000 a month, that means if something I'm doing outside of my job brings in $5,000 a month, well, I can retire. Because $5,000 a month, if you do the math, equates to about $60,000 a year. Now, the average person in America lives off of $45,000 a year. So if you're making $60,000 a year, you're living pretty good. Now, if you're living pretty good, making $60,000 a year, and it's not from your job, but passive income, which means income which you have to do nothing for, other than, I guess, maybe pay a management company or something. Or if you're going to do it yourself and collect rent and get tenants. then you are physically able to say, my job, I retire. I don't need you guys no more. I'm just going to keep collecting my rent. Because one thing that's not going to change is everyone needs a place to live. Everyone in the world needs a place to live. Stock market can go up and down. The housing market can go up and down, but violence can get crazy. It can be a recession, but guess what? Someone needs a place to live. So you're gonna always make money. You're gonna always make money. You might not always make as much as you think you're gonna make, but it's gonna be a set amount that you're going to make, and it's not gonna fall below that amount because someone always needs a place to live. Especially if you're buying the right location. So I took the money and bought the second house. My second house is in Newark, New Jersey. That's where we are at now. This house was a fixer-upper. They call it the BRRRR strategy: buy, rent, repair, or buy, repair, rent, refinance, and then buy another house with the equity that you have from the house. That's what I'm doing in this process right here. If I gotta probably stop moving so it doesn't get okay, I get it. All right, so with this house right here, it took me a little bit longer than I thought. Cost me a little bit more, but I bought in what you call the wedge. The wedge is the difference between what the price is worth and what the price sells for. Now, the way I was able to beat out investors, because right now prices are very hard to get houses. I was able to beat out investors because I plan on living in a house for a year, at least. But it's going to eventually be a place where I can always come to, because this place right here, I can always come to here while I'm still getting rents from my tenants book downstairs. So I decided to take this and fix it up, refinance, and now I'm at that point now. So this is the point where of my fire journey where I'm at. I did all this because this is the first video. I'm going to edit it and I'm going to make it kind of flashy and cool. I don't want to put music into it because I want to be able to put it on my I might not put copyrighted music. I might put my music into it because I used to do music. But I want to be able to put this on my Facebook so that people can watch it. Now, nobody might watch it. I might have one view, me, watching the same video. But it doesn't matter because I want to know where I started with this financial, where I'm at when I started recording my financial independence, retirement, early journey. This is where I started recording. You keep hearing the sound go off because I got the workers downstairs working in the basement, making a full basement. So this house right here that I bought this house for I bid on the house. Now, because I decided I'm going to live in the house for at least a year, more than a year, of course, but at least a year, I was able to beat out the investors that was going to pay almost double what I was going to pay. Sounds weird, right? Well, when you buy a REO or bank-owned property, they call it, or foreclosed property that the bank owns now, the bank took back now, most banks have to give people who are going to live in the house a 21-day opportunity to purchase the house before they give it to any investors. I took that up advantage because I live in I know this area. I'm from Newark. I'm from East Orange too. I'm from Irvington too. But I'm from Newark, so I know what areas in Newark are worth buying. If you look across the street from my house, come on, let's look. Oh, maybe not. I might not want to show you where it's at. But if you look across the street from my house, you'll see South Orange. Like, I'm literally on the borderline of South Orange and Newark. Now, my plans, I don't know if my plans are going to stay consistent, but my plan for what I'm going to do next. Now, I had originally said I'm going to buy a house every year. That's what I originally said. I want to start from saying that. I originally said I want to buy a house every year because if I buy a house every year in 10 years, I figure I will be at $10,000 income every month, which would be twice my $5,000 I required, But that would be a little bit difficult because now I'm going to still try to do as much as I can do like that, but it's going to be a little bit difficult because housing market change. And eventually, it's not going to be this simple. People are going to find out because it's people like me that's telling you how I'm doing it. It's There's a lot of people online on YouTube because it's big YouTube. As big as YouTube got, and as more bigger it's gonna get, is a lot of people telling you how to do it. It's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder and harder to find good properties that you can actually invest from. But because here comes the travel part. Because I'm aware of the world outside of my world in Newark, New Jersey, I know the opportunities there are everywhere else. I've been to over 12 countries in a matter of 10 and a half years. I've been in about 12 countries in a matter of 10 and a half years. Now, mind you, this is just me believing in trying something new because nobody in my family prior to my knowledge ever traveled. My mother never traveled. My father never knew him. Well, let me get this right. I knew my father. I met him when I was 13. He lived 6 blocks away from me. I didn't know until I was 13. Weird, right? But still don't know him now. Nobody in my whole life ever traveled. This is something I believed in, something I wanted to do, and something I said I'll take the risk to get there. And luckily I did. Let me get an investment property somewhere else around the world where I can live and where I can live a king's life on a peasant's salary. Yeah, that's right. Live a king's life on a peasant's salary. It sounds crazy if you've never left. I'm gonna keep doing this again. If you never left your world to explore the world, then you would never know that is the biggest possibility ever. Because what you see here is not what's here. There's a couple of places I've been where I realized that I could probably have done this, but of the places that I've traveled, I gotta keep moving. I gotta stop moving. Of the places I traveled, I decided to go to buy my first property. At this point, I decided to buy my first property overseas in a place that I just came from, Colombia, Barranquilla, to be exact, Barranquilla, Colombia. Why did I choose Barranquilla, even though I haven't been to Medellin yet? Because Medellin is already in the world's view. The world knows Colombia. They're starting to learn Colombia, and first, the wealthiest people all move to the place. So when you see the wealthiest people all move there, you still might have a chance. But when the regular people start moving there, like regular people, like middle class teachers and work truck drivers, when they start moving there, now your investment might not be as good. And Medellin has been like that for a minute. I mean, it's still possible to get something decent, but you're gonna be paying a premium, you know? Do I think it's still worth it? Possibly. But Barranquilla, Colombia is on the rise. It's a place between Cartagena, Colombia, and Santa Marta. These are two opposite but spectacular destinations. Santa Marta is beaches, relaxing, calm. Everything's calm. Everybody's nice all over the place, but everything's calm. Cartagena, hustle, bustle. Everything's nice, cool, parties, atmosphere, ladies. I mean, it's dope. I'm going to probably show you Cartagena a little bit here because you can see Cartagena here, and I'm going to put somewhere earlier Barranquilla when I mentioned it, probably so that you can see Barranquilla, or maybe I'll put it here too so you can see maybe a little bit of when I was in Barranquilla, Colombia. So that's where we at. That's where we at on my financial journey. On my financial journey, if you still stay with me in 15 minutes into this part, I might have to make it a 2-part thing. If you still here with me, that's where I'm at now on my financial journey. I'm getting ready to close up on my second house and refinance this I'm closing up on the house in about a month. I'm finished done. I'll be done all the work in the house, and I'll be ready for the start the refinancing process. I think the refinancing process is going to take about 2 months because that's how long my home equity loan took. So maybe 2 months. And it's now April 2019. So I'm going to say by the end of July 2019, I should be finished my refinancing process for this house and working on flying back over to Colombia to go look at some apartments in Barranquilla. So, FRE $H Fresh, if you're watching this from the future, yo, we did it, man. Hopefully we have this place that we're looking at, and hopefully things go the way we're going. You can only plan but so much, but that's the next move. So thanks for tuning in, man. When I guess when I complete the house, I'll come back with another episode of FIRE. Fire! Peace.